The monastery of St. Ivan of Rila, better known as the Rila Monastery, is the largest and most famous Eastern Orthodox monastery in Bulgaria. It is situated in the southwestern Rila Mountains, 117 kilometers south of the capital Sofia, in the deep valley of the Rilska River, at an elevation of 1,147 meters above sea level, inside of Rila Monastery Nature Park. The monastery is named after its founder, the hermit Ivan of Rila, and today houses around 60 monks. Founded in the 10th century, the Rila Monastery is regarded as one of Bulgaria's most important cultural, historical and architectural monuments, and is a key tourist attraction for both Bulgaria and Southern Europe. In 2008 alone, it attracted 900,000 visitors. The monastery is depicted on the reverse of the 1 lev banknote issued in 1999. History. It is traditionally thought that the monastery was founded by the hermit St. Ivan of Rila, whose name it bears. During the rule of Tsar Peter I, the hermit actually lived in a cave without any material possessions not far from the monastery's location, while the complex was built by his students, who came to the mountains to receive their education. Ever since its creation, the Rila Monastery has been supported and respected by the Bulgarian rulers. Large donations were made by almost every Tsar of the Second Bulgarian Empire up until the Ottoman conquest, making the monastery a cultural and spiritual center of Bulgarian national consciousness that reached its apogee from the 12th to the 14th century. A Rila monastery was erected at its present place by Relu, a feudal lord, during the first half of the 14th century. The oldest buildings in the complex date from this period: the Tower of Alia and a small church just next to it. The bishop's throne and the rich engraved gates of the monastery also belong to the time. However, the arrival of the Ottomans in the end of the 14th century was followed by numerous raids and a destruction of the monastery in the middle of the 15th century. Thanks to donations by the Sultan Amara Brankovic, the Russian Orthodox Church and the Rosican Monastery of Mount Athos, the Rila Monastery was rebuilt in the end of the 15th century by three brothers from the region of Dubnica. With Sultan Amara Brankovic's influence, Ivan of Rila's relics were moved from Trnovo into the new complex in 1469. The complex acted as a depository of Bulgarian language and culture in the ages of foreign rule. During the time of the Bulgarian national revival, it was destroyed by fire in 1833 and then reconstructed between 1834 and 1862 with the help of wealthy Bulgarians from the whole country, under the famous architect Alexei Rilets. The erection of the residential buildings began in 1816, while a belfry was added to the Tower of Relu in 1844. Neophyte Rilska founded a school in the monastery during the period. The monastery is known as being one of the hideouts of Bulgarian revolutionaries such as Vasil Levski, Gotsei Delchev, Payo Yavorov, etc. The monastery complex, regarded as one of the foremost masterpieces of Bulgarian national revival architecture, was declared a National Historical Monument in 1976 and became a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1983. Since 1991 it has been entirely subordinate to the Holy Synod of the Bulgarian Orthodox Church. On 25 May 2002, Pope John Paul II visited Rila Monastery during his pilgrimage to Bulgaria. He was greeted by the monastery's igumen, Bishop Joan, who had been an observer at the Second Vatican Council. Architecture. The whole complex occupies an area of 8,800 square meters and is rectangular in form, centered on the inner yard, where the tower and the main church are situated. Main church. The main church of the monastery was erected in the middle of the 19th century. Its architect is Pavel Yonov, who worked on it from 1834 to 1837. The church has 5 domes, 3 altars and 2 side chapels, while one of the most precious items inside is the gold-plated iconostasis, famous for its wood carving, the creation of which took 5 years to 4 handicraftsmen. The frescoes, finished in 1846, are the work of many masters from Bansko, Samokov and Razlog, including the famous brothers Zahari Zograf and Dimitar Zograf. The church is also home to many valuable icons, dating from the 14th to the 19th century. Porticos in the courtyard have Mamluk influence with the striped painting and the domes, which became more popular in the Ottoman Empire after the conquest of Egypt. Residential part. The 4-story residential part of the complex consists of 300 chambers, 4 chapels, an abbot's room, a kitchen, a library housing 250 manuscripts and 9,000 old printed matters, and a donor's room. The exterior of the complex, with its high walls of stone and little windows, resembles a fortress more than a monastery. Monastery Museum. The Museum of the Rila Monastery is particularly famous for housing Raphael's cross, a wooden cross made from a whole piece of wood. It was whittled down by a monk named Raphael using fine burins and magnifying lenses to recreate 104 religious scenes and 650 miniature figures. Work on this piece of art lasted not less than 12 years before it was completed in 1802, when the monk lost his sight. Gallery. Burials. Boris III of Bulgaria. James David Boucher. Neophyte Rilski. Aulia. Bibliography. Emil Ivanov. Das Bild Program des Narviks im Rila Kloster in Bulgarian und besondere Berücksichtigung der Wasserentwicklung des Erlangen, 2002. Emil Ivanov. Rila Kloster. Article RGG4, BD 7, 2007, SP 520.